Greetings, fellow gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
And I'm Count Jackula.
And today we're going to talk about Superdeep, which is the second movie we watched recently about a group of soldiers going into an underground Russian bunker in order to save scientists and encountering weird zombies.
Yep.
But the difference between this movie and Death Valley, which I think both are actually Shudder originals.
Yeah, I believe they are, yeah.
The difference between this movie and Death Valley is that this movie is actually really fucking good.
Yes. Yeah. Couple warnings, though.
Yeah.
Watch the subtitle, not the dub. If you watch the dub, which is what I did, you're going to be going, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Now, Guru watched the subtitled version, and he had no problems. To the point where he could actually explain it to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was like,
well, here's the thing. I watched it dubbed with subtitles. I actually don't think there's a Russian language track for this. If there is,
really?
There is. I checked to see if there was because I thought it was, because you start watching the movie and some actors sound like they're just heavily dubbed. And honestly, I just think it's like a Italian movie kind of situation.
Oh,
where characters
okay.
are just. They probably recorded a lot of stuff either without sound or the sound wasn't usable, so everyone's kind of dubbed over.
Right.
And so they just kind of sound dubbed. But I could not find an a foreign language track for the movie when I tried to watch it on Shudder. But I put subtitles on anyway, just because Jack was streaming at the time, and it was easier to pay attention to the movie when he's like yelling in the background if I had something I could read while it was going on. That way, if I missed a line, I could read it.
Yeah, okay.
That's how I watched the movie. But yeah, that is a weird thing about the movie, is that when I was watching the movie, I was having that same vibe where, like with Italian movies, where some characters feel like they're dubbed and other characters don't. And I wasn't sure if that was an intentional thing or if it was just like, for whatever reason during the production, a whole bunch of actors had to be dubbed over. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Who
knows
know.
with a movie like this? Highlights of the movie is it's got a good monster.
It's got a really good monster. This movie also falls into the category that we've been watching recently also, of movies with weird fungal creatures.
Yeah. There's another mushroom movie.
Fungus Strikes Back, global warming scary story.
Yeah.
You know, but with a little bit of a... All right, I'll put it this way. There's a huge chunk of this movie that feels like Dead Space Underground.
Yeah, or The Thing.
Or The Thing, yeah.
Very, very, very reminiscent.
Very much so. This movie's really awesome. If you like movies like The Thing, if you like movies like even Thing knockoffs like Leviathan or...
Yeah, like this was the one that was the movie it reminded me the most of, which was Leviathan.
Oh yeah, me too. I was thinking that too. I was like, this is a much better version of Leviathan, is what it feels like.
Yes, yeah.
But with fungi things.
Yeah, as opposed to the genetic mutation monster thing that they do in Leviathan.
It also reminded me of a much better version of, what was that movie we watched a few years back that was made by special effects people?
Harbinger Down.
Harbinger Down. That had really awesome effects, but the editing made it hard to see the effects.
Yes.
You know, I remember that. This feels like a much better version of that because you can see the effects like in their full glory.
Yeah. This is not a movie that hides the effects from you because they're shitty.
No.
This is a movie that is sort of like, hey, look at this monster movie.
The reason why I bring up Dead Space is because there's an aspect to this movie that kind of feels almost like a video game.
Oh yeah,
where
definitely.
You have this character and a group of soldiers like entering this bunker, and then there's levels of the bunker. So it's almost like there's levels of the game.
Exactly. Yeah.
And as the movie goes on, you start off with just kind of like humanoid looking like fungi zombie people, and then by the end of the thing, you have like full on monstrosities that are weird fusions of body parts and shit.
Yes.
You know, so much like a video game, you start off with like the rat tier fucking villain
exactly,
monsters, and then by the end of it, you're dealing with the huge, humongous monsters, right? Boss battles.
Yeah,
and shit.
Yeah. Oh god, this movie. This reminded me a lot. There was a video game that was made recently that this reminded me a lot of, which was called Carrion.
Oh yeah.
Which was the whole idea was that it's basically you're the Thing in the underground bunker trying to escape all the humans.
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
that's awesome. You want to know how much of a video game this felt like? There's literally a plot point where they have to get a key card from a scientist on a certain level and bring it up to another level so they can open a door. It's like such a video game fucking plotting, but like it works. It really does work. Like if you liked Underwater was another movie this reminded me of. If you liked movies like that, you're gonna really dig the hell out of this. And much like Underwater, there's surprises towards the end of the movie, so keep watching.
Yes, it's a lot of fun. It's not very deep.
No.
Superdeep is not a deep film.
It's called Superdeep, but it's not very deep. Even its like messaging is very on the surface. Oh hey, we have this fungi that was frozen in the ice since the Ice Age, but now it might escape because global warming.
Because of global warming,
and scientists are going to want to use it as a weapon. Because one of the cool things about this movie is that it's set during the Cold War. And it's set in Russia, so you're dealing with the Russian end of the Cold War, where they're trying to create a bioweapon that can take on the United States and the capitalists.
It's the movie is set right around the establishment of Glasnost, which is the nuclear disarming of Russia, and the United States technically, which neither of them did completely.
Absolutely. And if you like the aesthetic of things like Event Horizon, like the way spaceships look in those kind of movies, this is kind of like that, but in an underground bunker. It's got that kind of future sci-fi by way of 80s movies aesthetic going on.
Oh yeah, totally.
And it really works. It really does.
Where it feels like nothing looks like an iPod in this movie.
Yeah.
Everything looks like it's cobbled together by fucking rusted bolts and fucking spare locker parts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's great. And it's got really great action scenes, and there's there's legitimately creepy fucking moments in this movie. There was a jump scare that actually got me really early on, when the girl goes for the glass.
Oh yeah.
That I should have seen that coming, but I didn't, and it
you don't
made me jump. And the effects are so fucking gnarly. This is an effects showcase. Whoever did the special effects for this movie needs all the awards, because
it's really good.
It's a nice mix of various practical stylings. There's little puppetry here and there. There's the good old fashioned, let's put a prosthetic on someone's back and then pump some air into it so it's pulsing. While someone's blowing some blood through it. It's great. I love it. The effects are awesome. This movie is a blast. It is 100% a video game, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey, I'm in this room and it's covered in all this gas. I got to get the gas mask over there before I can enter the next room and do this. It's
Yeah, and there's also... The one problem the movie has is it does have that video game thing of, shouldn't this person be contaminated already?
Oh, yeah.
When you're playing Resident Evil, dude gets bit, you're shouldn't that be the end of the game?
Isn't he a zombie now?
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
but if we did it that way, then the game would be over, and that would suck.
Oh, absolutely. We'll actually get to the spoilers soon, where we'll talk about where there was a little bit of confusion initially when Jack watched it, but I was able to clear it up for him with my watch. So we'll talk more about that in the spoiler section, because that's mainly the last third of the movie.
Yeah. Last third of the movie gets a little confusing,
In terms of warnings, I don't think there's any animals. It's just, scientists and soldiers.
No, I don't remember there being any animals that, it's mainly just people.
Yeah.
Because it's an underground bunker.
Yeah.
And there's scientists and for some reason. Oh, yeah. You're in science fiction land, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Almost from the get-go.
It's full on science fiction land. This movie's got some Aliens vibes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, right down to the whole, oh, hey, someone's secretly there for alternate means,
Yeah.
He's untrustworthy.
But it's the whole premise of the thing is that they're in an underground bunker that is 5 miles under the surface of the earth.
Oh, here's the thing.
Yeah?
Apparently, now the movie does a fictionalized version of it.
Oh yeah,
Superdeep exists.
There is a real thing that it's based on.
But they definitely amped it up.
Yeah, because the actual thing is how to put it. The actual thing that actually exists that this is based off of doesn't look that cool. It's literally just a human dug crater.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's true. I'll say this though. You know why this movie's good and Death Valley isn't?
Why?
This movie's called Superdeep. It's set in
and
Superdeep.
it is deep.
It's in Superdeep.
It goes into the Superdeep.
But it's the actual name of the
that's actually what it's called?
Of the mine, Superdeep.
Oh, okay. That I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unlike Death Valley, which is not set in Death Valley.
Yeah. I could get over that.
I wish I had seen this movie before I watched Death Valley, because I would have just recommended this movie instead. Because this movie's a much better watch, and it's also on Shudder, so it's a much better alternative. And you'll get awesome special effects, multitudes of different types of weird, like, fucking fungi people, and awesome action that's actually exciting and thrilling, and characters you actually care about and grow to like.
Yeah, you kind of want to see what they do, you know.
Even though some of them feel like they're dubbed over with like cheesy Italian dubbing, they still like exude more charisma than the characters in Death Valley.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Oh yeah.
But I definitely recommend this. I enjoyed it. And with that said, let's move on to the spoilers.
All right, so
there's an aspect of the last third of the movie that confused you. We can go over that here.
Yeah, let's go over that. All right, so when I watched the movie, they reach a point where they realize, oh my god, there's a fungus monster down here. They haven't, like, encountered it yet, but they know it exists.
Yeah.
There's no question about that.
Yeah.
And so a bunch of them are like, we got to make sure this thing never reaches the surface.
Yeah.
So we've got to destroy it.
Yeah. And
you're like, okay, then why are you trying to escape through the elevator then?
Yeah.
You know, because that's just going to lead the monster to the surface where you absolutely do not want it to be.
True, absolutely.
You know, and so I was like, what the fuck is going on? But it turns out the aspect that I didn't realize, which is in order to destroy the base, they actually have to be on the surface level.
Yeah. They got to input the codes and destroy the elevator in order to do that. But even beyond that, there's two aspects there. You have the one aspect if you have certain characters that kind of reach a point of like, I don't know what else to call it other than claustrophobia, and they just need to escape.
Right,
you know, like
right.
That's what happens to the one dude at the very end who's like, you know, like I'm gonna escape. Fuck this. I'm out of here or whatever.
Right.
But the other aspect to it is that it's what they say at the beginning of the movie when they're talking about the fungi after they've uncovered it. That like, oh hey, the fungi infects the ant. The ant is then forced by the fungi to go back to the colony so it can infect the hive. So everyone that's been exposed to the fungi, including our main character, has a drive to get out of there and to go to the hive population.
Right. Find a population center.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the fungus itself cannot, even though it creates this big monster, if it cannot survive the cold.
Yeah.
You know, but there's a problem, which is the permafrost is only so big, and the creature hasn't discovered the boundaries of it yet.
Yep.
If it figures out where that boundary is, everyone's kind of fucked.
Everyone's also fucked if just one person infected by it goes to a populated area.
Yeah.
You know, because then it'll just spread and it'll keep going, and then that's endgame.
And that's it. Yeah.
You know, that's endgame. So you have this thing where the characters are ostensibly saying that they got to stop it from reaching the surface, but some characters are also very driven to escape, and some of that is just panic, right?
Yeah.
It's people panicking and I gotta get out of here or whatever. But a lot of it comes down to that scene where when that one soldier came through the door and then slit its own throat.
Yes.
Because the soldier was already infected with the fungi and realized that it was taking him to the rest of the soldiers, and so instead of infecting the rest of the soldiers,
he kills himself. Yeah. Not realizing that would have a limited effect.
Which is something that comes up two other times in the movie. Once at the very beginning, but you don't know that's what's happening at the very beginning.
Right.
Because you don't know what's going down yet when they first arrive at the facility, and this one guy continues to advance on them even though they're going to fire on him and kill him. You know, and it turns out, and at the end of the movie, the main character does the same thing when they save her.
Yeah.
You know, And
that started to make that part I got, but like I couldn't understand why they weren't fighting against the urge to go to the surface. If they knew that is something that should never happen.
And trying to destroy the elevator kind of thing.
Yeah. Because if you destroy the elevator, you keep anyone else from fucking going down there, and you basically you prevent anyone else from being a potential vector.
I also think there was an aspect where the characters were going to try to escape at one point.
Yeah, before they realized how fucked they were.
Yeah, but once they got into the elevator and the Major was there and he was fusing the floor, they realized that any surface trip was gonna be an infecting point, especially since that guy was just spewing shit into the elevator.
Yeah.
So they were going to be infected, and that's what leads to the conflict between her and the guy, because the guy is like, no, I just got to get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Combined probably with the fungi.
With the fungus, yeah.
You know? And she's like, no, we got to stop it. And then there's even a point where she's fighting her own fungus. Like the whole thing when she's trying to input the elevator, like you have the G-force that's pulling her down, right?
Right.
But like every time she goes down, like her face starts to turn a little red.
Yeah, it starts to glow, which indicates the fungus is doing something.
Yeah, the fungus is influence. So like the fungus is pulling her away from pressing the wrong code, so the elevator stops working.
Yeah. It was just that final bit that didn't get communicated in the pure dub, which is, we have to actually be at the top. We can't just leave this thing down here.
Yeah.
You know, we actually have to destroy the entire structure. And it was like, well, that would have been useful to know. You know, like that would have been super useful to know. You know, because then it's sort of like, we have to do this thing that's kind of counterintuitive.
It's mentioned in one line when they first come up to the code. And the guy talks about it. But it's easy to forget because
because a lot of shit happens.
This is a 2-hour movie. It's not an hour and a half. This is a 2-hour movie full of shit happening, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and it's a very much a video game kind of scenario too, where they're going from one floor to another floor. Got to get the key from this floor so we can go open the door on this floor. And it's like
exactly,
you know, like,
yeah. It's the thing that was annoying me is I couldn't figure out why the plot made no sense, given that there was so much care in everything else.
Yeah,
because usually if this much care is being taken, usually you've already got the story covered.
Yeah, and it turns out it makes more sense. It's just trying to keep track of everything becomes messy.
Yeah.
You know, like it's very easy to miss little details like, oh, why are they going down to the bottom floor? Well, they're going down to the bottom floor because the scientist that blew up one of the top floors went down to the bottom floor so that he can see the fungi god for the final time.
Yeah.
And ended up dying in the heat zone where that was, and they got to get the key card for that because the elevator only goes up with the key card.
Yeah, and he's trying to, the way he's trying to destroy everything is he's trying to destroy the key card with himself.
Yeah.
You know?
And at this point, the characters are still thinking they can escape at this point, right? They're still thinking it, but they're foolish, you know?
Yeah, they're wrong. They can't. They're already fucked.
You know, so like, we got to get the key cards. We can go up and use the elevator. Because up until that point, they were just going down because they could rig the elevator to drop, but they couldn't make it go up without the key card. So,
right.
You know.
Right. For a movie that's not very deep, it's got a lot of intricate plotting. If that makes sense. Yeah, there's a lot of it's a very complicated plot.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, it really is just like, oh, monster, you know.
And I can totally see how if you miss any little detail, like you miss maybe if you're looking at your phone and someone says something and you miss a line, you'll miss details that are important for why they're doing certain things.
Yeah.
Right? You know. Like, great example, it's very easy to miss, like, why the Colonel guy goes and sacrifices himself. Well, there's a line he says earlier about, like, if I go up to the surface, I'm going to have to tell everyone about this, and that can't happen.
Yeah.
Because it's my duty.
Yeah.
You know, so he literally sacrifices himself because otherwise he would have to tell everyone about the weapon down here.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not going to be able to say no to a direct order, so I'm just going to fucking do it here.
You know, it's very well plotted, but very, very complicated at times. But you're gonna have a good time with it, though. It's got awesome monsters, and I love the fungi. Like when they go into the heat zone, that's the inside core of the thing, and all the walls are the fungi. It's It's very Lovecraftian.
Yeah, very much so.
I also love, and this is we're in the spoiler section now, so I can start talking about this. There's a boss monster in this video game, this movie. It's this monstrosity that's fused together from multiple different bodies with the fungus. It's got like these weird spider legs that are kind of like gorilla-like in their movements.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that it roars, but its roars are a combination of the weird gurgling noises of all the blood and the pus all fused together, and the screams of all the bodies that are fused into it.
Yes.
And every time it moves, the body part that's like attached to like whatever leg it's using will scream in agony as it moves.
Yeah, because like the leg is like made out of someone's like fucking head.
Yeah, it's like it's like, gee, this is creepy as all fuck. I'm sitting there going like, oh my god, that's creepier than like 90% of Silent Hill, and Silent Hill's creepy
pretty
as shit.
Fucking creepy. Yeah. There were some times when it was approaching like fucking annihilation.
Yeah,
like
Jesus fucking Christ. And this boss thing they have to face off against in the last act of the movie when they're trying to make their last ditch effort to the fucking elevator, and man, is that fucked. It's like barreling.
Jeez. Yeah.
Like those Resident Evil games where like Nemesis starts chasing you and you can't fight it yet, so you gotta keep running.
Yeah,
it's like that scene in the video game.
It is.
It's like it's chasing them. They can't do anything to it. All they can do is run.
Yeah, all they can do is try to escape.
And it's barreling through walls and taking shortcuts while they have to go around shit.
Yep. Surprise, motherfucker.
But I loved it. It was a great effect, and like, oh man, I loved it. I just loved it. Anything else you want to say about Superdeep?
No, I think that's about it.
That's about it.
I recommend it as a good like monster movie. If you want the meaning of life, it ain't here.
No. This is an awesome fucking science fiction action monster.
Very unpretentious film.
Very unpretentious, no. And very much harkening back to like that particular genre of action horror sci-fi movies of like the 80s and stuff. Very much evoking Aliens, very much evoking Leviathan, very much evoking
or The Forbidden Planet. Was it The Forbidden Planet or The Forgotten World? God damn it.
One of them.
Yeah, because Forbidden Planet is the classic science fiction with like
you're right.
the robot.
You're right, Forgotten World.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Forgotten World.
Yeah, very much evoking those kinds of movies, but instead of space, it's underground.
Yeah.
And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, where can they find you, Count Jackula?
Well, you can find me on Twitch at Count_Jackula, where I stream throughout the week, but always try to make Thursday and Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But if you want to be alerted as to when I stream whenever, you should follow me on Counting Jack on Twitter. That's where that is, and we'd love to see. You can also follow me on Satanic Jackula at Instagram, and you should follow me on all those things because we'd love to see you on the streams. We have all kinds of gnarly conversations about like horror movies, history of the occult, mankind,
big titty women, the necessities.
The necessities, yeah. Twinkie boys, all that kind of stuff.
There you go.
It's all good. How about you?
Y'all know me. I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on Twitter, on Twitch, on Instagram, and Facebook. Just look up the Horror Guru or Blood Splattered Cinema, and I'll be there. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And if you would like to help out either of us more directly, then be sure to check out our Patreon pages. And remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way. And, it's gotta be Mushroom something. Like we did Mushroom Kingdom.
We did Mushroom Kingdom.
We did Mushroom Plantation. We did Mushroom Empire. What's this one?
Mushroom Mine.
Mushroom Mine? Alright.
Mushroom Mine.
If you made it this far into the vlog, then I want you to comment below, and be sure to comment below using the hashtag #MushroomMine. It's kind of like Enemy Mine, but with a mushroom. And if you use that in your comment below, then that way Jack will know and I will know that you watched the vlog all the way through, and I'm losing my train of thought as I speak, so we're gonna wrap this vlog up. Peace out, my fellow gorehounds, and I'll catch y'all later.
So kind of like thinking about this movie, going on about video game movies, just kind of makes me go like, yeah, you actually could like do a really, really effective like survival horror Metroid movie.
Oh yeah, you totally can.
You know,
totally
it's
can.
just that, you know,
I watched this movie and I sat there going like, oh, you could totally make Dead Space a movie. Like,
yeah.
This is, you know, like this totally has all those elements. Just instead at the end there'd be like a monolith and like a creature living underneath.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah. You know, but they're all that same basic plot of like go into some place that is not easy to escape, kill a thing, and then escape before everything is destroyed. You know,
Metroid, you could totally do that too. Like 100%.
That could be kind of
I
awesome.
think Nintendo, since they're doing a Super Mario Brothers movie, if that does well, probably gonna see some
I
more.
hope they do a Metroid movie actually.
Maybe not Metroid first, but I guarantee it'll start a slew.
Oh,
of
probably.
Nintendo.
Oh, you know, it'll probably be next. Legend of Zelda.
That would make the most sense.
Yeah.
That would probably make the most financial sense too.
Yeah. Do the Mario movie, then do like take another stab at like the television show Legend of Zelda.
But here's the question: is Link going to be played by Chris Pratt?
Here's the thing. If you had told me Chris Pratt is gonna play Link, I'd have been like, all right. Like I'd just be like, okay, like not the worst casting in the world. I'm just trying to figure out how Chris Pratt's gonna be Mario.
Like him playing Link even feels weird. Just because, like if you were to play Link, because I feel like Link should be a pretty boy.
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
Link's a pretty
You know,
boy.
he should be like a femboy with like long hair.
Yeah.
And, you know, stuff like
he's
that.
got to look kind of like Legolas from the first Lord of the Rings. You know?
Exactly.
You know, that's what he's got to look like.
Yeah, but I'm like, Mario? Like, that is
Weird.
way wrong.
We've gotten completely sidetracked.
Yeah, like, well, when they had Bob Hoskins play Mario, I was like, all right.
He kind of nailed it.
You already saw him as Eddie Valiant, so you know he can do the New York accent. So you're like, yeah, okay, great, let's do it.
I don't care what anyone says. He nailed that role.
He did. Like, that actually, that movie is criminally underrated.
Oh, the thing is I love that particular type of like dystopian movie to begin with.
Yeah.
The fact that it's a Mario movie just makes it even better because it's so weird.
Oh, yeah. But like, even with that, they found a way to do all the Mario Brothers shit.
Yeah, they did.
That's what's so impressive about it. And I'm gonna be honest, people. When they were like, live action Mario movie, and people were like, this is nothing like Mario. And I'm like, yeah, because there's such a deep plot to fucking stick with. Like, you're lucky that they called someone King Koopa and that he had like kids named like Larry and what's his fuck.
Yeah.
Because like that actually is from the Mario world.
Yeah.
Ba-bomb! I'm sorry, Ba-bomb. It makes up for a lot of fucking ills, man.
People. I mean, if people are mad about that, they'll get what they want now because there's going to be an animated Mario movie, and that animated Mario movie is basically going to look like the video games.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, if you wanted it to feel like Mario Brothers games, probably what you should have done in the first place.
Absolutely.
You know,
animated's better for Mario anyway, just because so much of Mario is so stylized in a very particular way.
Exactly.
You know?
It's already so cartoony.
He's like Mickey Mouse. You know?
Yeah.
Live action Mickey Mouse would not make sense.
Ooh. Well, then again, they did do that live action Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's true. That did work.
Yeah.
It surprisingly worked.
Yeah. I don't know how you would do that with
But
Mickey
the
Mouse,
important part was
the
the important part that he was animated. And initially they were going to fuck that up.
Oh, man. Yeah, that first design, that was just horrible.
Oh, yeah. The redesign made that work so much better.
Yeah, that was one of those things where I'm like, they were like, you know what, let's redesign Sonic. And I'm like, look, I didn't care about the Sonic movie, but yes, that's probably for the best.
They also made Pokemon work. Detective
Pikachu was awesome.
So it's possible. The only question would be is like, okay, at that point, is Mario a human or is he an animated figure?
Oh, that's a direction I hadn't considered.
Yeah.
You know, like it's a live action movie, but Mario still is like the CGI Mario.
Yeah. Like, which way do you do it? Like, is it humans in an animated world that looks like Mario Brothers, or is it Mario?
Is it Mario in the real world? You know, I don't know, because like they did do that for one of the games at one point.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, who knows what they're going to do?
I got nothing. I probably just fucking doomed us all by suggesting these things. So
yeah. Yeah. Well, we're probably, I'm going to be honest, like there's a part of me that's like, no, I think this Mario movie being good is a little too much to hope for.
Yeah, probably.
You know.
We'll see.
Yeah. We might get lucky, you know, but Mario's a really easy one to just fuck up because you could fall into the trap of not trying too hard.
True, yeah.
You know, like those Smurf movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, like those Smurf movies are definitely victims of, well, we don't really have to try, do we?
True.
You know, and then you're like, oh. And that's why that movie, like, kind of only works when Hank Azaria is on fucking... Because he's the only guy who's really committed to... He's playing Gargamel, and he's the only one committed to the movie.
True.
You know?
You guys come in for the deep discussion about the latest awesome horror movie we watched, and stay for the lengthy conversation about Super Mario
Brothers. Dawn. Oh, actually, we're talking about Superdeep, so it should be doody.
God damn it! Cut this vlog. Cut it. It's over. It's over.
Pow, pow, pow.